systems. Maddie remembers that the water park drains directly into Cross Lake, so that insane amount of chlorine must have brought the piranhas. Barry enthusiastically discusses theories with Goodman, and Maddie is surprised he knows so much about the subject, so Barry explains that he read a marine biology book because that's what she's studying. Kyle can bring a team to check the pipes in the morning, but Maddie points out that tomorrow is the park's big opening, so they need to check the pipes tonight. Otherwise the piranhas will feed on their clients. Moments later at the lake, Maddie asks Barry to come with her, but Barry admits he can't swim. Maddie then dives in and checks the safety grates on the pipelines. They're still in good condition, so the piranhas shouldn't be able to swim into the park. Suddenly a piranha appears next to her and bites her ankle. It manages to draw some blood, but Maddie moves quickly and the injury isn't serious. More piranhas are coming for her, so she swims as fast as possible to the surface and Kyle jumps into the water to help her get out just in time. Then they kiss, so an annoyed Barry walks away. Meanwhile the piranhas keep feeding on Ashley, whose body is now at the bottom of the lake. The couple's disappearance is on the news and Shelby is on the verge of a breakdown. She asks Josh to get naughty with her because she doesn't feel well and doesn't want to die a virgin. At first things go well, but soon Shelby feels like something is wrong. Josh ignores her pleas and just keeps moving, not noticing Shelby's stomach squirming. Suddenly she starts convulsing and passes out while Josh feels something strange. He pulls out and discovers a piranha biting his member. He runs around the room in panic and accidentally crashes into a mirror before he finds a knife, which he uses to chop off his banana with the piranha still attached. Blood splatters on the walls and he yells in unbearable pain before collapsing. When Shelby finally wakes up, she finds the piranha squirming in blood. She steps on it and it spits out the chopped member. Shelby keeps looking for Josh until he appears behind her, furiously screaming and asking what she did to him. In town, Kyle forces Chet to pull over and asks for his regular payment. It turns out Chet is illegally pumping water from an underground river into the park and Kyle is protecting his secret. Before leaving, Kyle writes him a ticket, but Chet throws it away. At Maddie's house, Barry asks her if she and Kyle are back together, and she swears they aren't. They're interrupted by Shelby, who tells them what happened while her groin keeps bleeding. Moments later both Shelby and Josh are hospitalized and people are having trouble believing Shelby's story. At home, Maddie checks on her injury while taking a bath. Suddenly tiny piranhas start coming out of the faucet, followed by a huge one that attacks Maddie. However, at that moment she wakes up from this nightmare. The next day, the water park finally has its big reopening. One of the clients is Deputy Fallon, who fought the piranhas last time and lost his legs in the process. Fallon sees the pool and his PTSD makes him nervous about being near the water again, but his friend Andrew convinces him that this is the best way to face his fears. While everyone has fun and the kids try to spy on the adult pool, Fallon asks Andrew to dump him into the pool. However, Fallon panics at the last second and ends up throwing Andrew into the water first. Then Chet welcomes everyone and brings out a special star. It's Hasselhoff, known for playing a lifeguard on TV. He flirts with all the women while taking selfies with them. Meanwhile, Maddie is wandering around the park and finally discovers the machine that is illegally pumping water from the river. She scolds Chet for what he did and tells him about the piranhas, but he doesn't believe the story. The machine keeps pumping, so now the piranhas are moving fast through the pipes. By breaking a weak grate, a piranha finally reaches the pools. Soon a kid tells his mother that he's been bitten by piranhas, but she doesn't believe him and tells him it's just a scratch. The boy then asks Hasselhoff for a band-aid and he responds by giving him a signed picture. Since the kid doesn't know who this man is, and Hasselhoff is offended. A woman in the pool cries out when she sees a piranha, which quickly hides in the pipe again. The lady tells Maddie what she saw, so Maddie tries to make everyone get out of the pool, but they won't listen. Then Maddie asks Chet to close the park, but he refuses and says the lady is lying. When Maddie tries to kick people out, Kyle drags her away. Barry tries to defend her, but he isn't taken seriously. Afterward, the horde of piranhas invades the pools and starts attacking people, turning the water pink with blood. Everyone starts panicking and yelling as the piranhas have a feast in every corner. Even Dave is bitten while he's getting naughty with a pipe again. Andrew wants to run away with his friend, however Fallon wants to fight. He puts on his titanium legs and steps into the pool, so when the piranhas try to bite him they only taste metal. These legs are also shotguns in disguise, so Fallon starts shooting down piranhas while helping people get out of the water. The bitten kid keeps yelling for help and Hasselhoff ignores him. A woman tells him to do his job, so Hasselhoff reminds her that he never was a real lifeguard and people just need to get out of the water. The boy keeps on screaming and Hasselhoff eventually feels guilty, so he runs in slow motion like the old times and pushes people out of the way before jumping into the pool. He rescues the boy and realizes he finally is a real bodyguard. In the middle of the chaos, Maddie finds Chet and punches him as she blames him for everything. Then she asks Barry to force drain the pools. Before leaving, Barry tells her that he's loved her all along. Maddie admits she thought he liked guys and kisses his cheek. On his way to the pump house, Barry finds Dave with a piranha stuck in his rear and helps him pull it out. Chet retrieves the box with all the money they made today and tries to run away. When he sees a girl crying over her mother's body, he feels guilty and gives her some change. Then he gets on a golf cart to escape, only to run over the girl in the process. He drives ahead for a few seconds and doesn't see the banners, which easily decapitate him. The head falls into the adult pool and the piranhas eat it on camera. While Maddie keeps helping people, Barry and Dave make it to the pump house and start draining the pools. Little by little all the piranhas are being suctioned by the pipes. Maddie also gets caught in the current and Kyle comes to help her while telling her about his deal with Chet. However, when he sees all the blood, Kyle panics and runs away without helping her. Maddie struggles to swim against the pipe's suction and ends up sinking to the bottom of the pool. Barry jumps into the water to help, but he remembers he can't swim and has to climb out. At that moment a big piranha breaks the wall to return to the pool and tries to bite Barry, who is already out of reach. A smaller piranha is approaching Maddie only to be eaten by its big counterpart. When the super piranha tries to go after Maddie next, Barry grabs his litter trident and throws it at the creature, stabbing it in the head just in time to kill it. As Maddie passes out, the rain pumps stop working. Barry jumps into the pool with a huge brick tied to his body so he can walk on the bottom and find Maddie. He grabs her and lets go of the brick to resurface, then he gives her CPR to wake her up. Maddie is grateful for his help and kisses him. Kyle feels guilty about doing nothing and comes back to rescue Maddie, but he's late and picks up a random body instead. In the pump house, Dave pours concentrated chlorine into the pipes, followed by a lit cigarette. This causes all the pools to explode and kill all the piranhas at the same time. After flying for a few seconds, the trident lands on Kyle's head and kills him. At that moment Maddie gets a call from Goodman, who informs her that piranhas are evolving and learning to walk. His own piranha has already escaped from the tank. At the same time a piranha emerges from pool and walks on the ground. The bitten boy comes closer to take a picture and the piranha jumps to decapitate him, splashing blood all over the mother. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.